Here we go. We are live streaming. It is Tuesday, December 7th. Wow, it's amazing that we're in December. Really, really, yeah, it hits me every time. Like, December, really? We made it? So we're approaching 2022, everyone. That's going to be really, really exciting. Let me just say hello. I see some familiar faces and some newer names here. We got Melanie. Great to see you, Melanie. Jewel is here. Welcome, Jewel. Alyssa's here. Welcome, Amber, with this fabulous background. Great to see you. Arlene and Catherine. Catherine, great to see you. Chukwameka's here from the UK. Wonderful. Claire's here. Doris, welcome. Eddie, our fabulous Eddie, is with us today in the house. Elizabeth, hi. Gail, thank you so much for being here. Yes, Gloria and Jay, welcome. Joseph and Justin, hi Justin. Karen and Karen, woo, we got lots of Karens today. Liana's here. What's up, Liana? I would love to hear how things are going for you recently. Malalika, hi, great to see you. Marcia, welcome. Millicent and Nadea, Nick, Patrick, Patty, Ruth is here, consistent and showing up, a new student. Rima, I hope I'm saying that right. Sarah, Scott, and Scott. Sia and Sibu. Signing in early morning. Thomas and Zita. Great to have you all here. I'm going to go ahead and mute you, but of course, you know that when you want to speak, you can unmute yourself or kind of raise the hand to speak. So first, I want to welcome all these new members that we have here. Welcome to our daily success calls. John Lavinia and I run the daily success calls every day. Hence the name daily at the same time. So really easy to show up, kind of set your intention and your alarm to get here at the exact same time every time. And on these calls, we talk about the mindset that is needed to become the business owner that we want to be. So these are not the how-to calls. These are, about really diving deep into some of the things that affect us daily. Like, what are we thinking in our mind? How are we acting? How are we approaching our business and the low-hanging system? So really, really awesome stuff. And it's a safe space to share for everyone. There are never any wrong or right answers. It's just about sharing your opinions, your emotions, your thoughts, what you're going through, and communicating with everyone here on the group. It is always so inspiring and uplifting to hear from you. So I encourage you, if you feel the urge to speak up and say, please do so. We would love to hear from you. I saw more students came online. Patricia and Patty, great. And so, here on the Northern Hemisphere, I live in Texas. So I know we have students from all over, and maybe people are listening in on YouTube, so from different parts of the world. But here, December means winter time. And I know for Amber for sure, as we talked about in the other calls. And so wintertime, as I'm driving down the streets here in Austin, really presents a very unique view. So we don't have snow and all of that happening here in Texas, but you do see it's kind of like fall now. But you just kind of see the leaves shedding off of the trees and everything kind of getting bare and bare and bare. And of course, there's something really interesting about looking at a tree without its leaves, without that beautiful canopy, without the colors or the just everything that makes a tree so magnificent that we just kind of see it. You see it bare. And it's very interesting because sometimes you can see, the bird's nests there and what's happening where you can't, really see. Everything gets exposed. But really, where my thoughts were this past weekend and today still, and oftentimes, and I know this is true for Amber, I just keep calling you out because you're on the screen right in front of me. So, wintertime brings storms. It brings extreme weather conditions. Let's put it that way, wherever you are, and trees that don't have strong roots. Trees that maybe are just starting to grow or just starting the process, or even if it's trees that don't have a complex root systems, oftentimes you won't see them surviving or withstanding these storms. And that's an interesting concept to contemplate and bring inward, because for ourselves, especially during these times, December holidays, we really go back to our roots. We kind of decide how, what matters most to us. And it's this foundational process that moves us forward into the year. And, when we nourish our roots, when we make sure that our roots are nourished and strong and deep, then we know that we can approach anything. We can withstand any storm. We can move freely. We can, find our peace. Oftentimes, that when you see those trees when they're bare, there's almost something very peaceful about that. It's like they're standing tall. The branches are, branching out. It's fully exposed, very vulnerable site, very, very exposed, and you just have this sense of strength and stability and really this deep rooting aspect of it. And that's kind of where I want to navigate our conversation, because I've been on several phone calls with students recently, and oftentimes I feel like life wants us to focus on results. We want to see the numbers. Show me the numbers. Sign me up. If we're making millions of dollars right now, right here, I want to sign up. I want some of that. And everybody's looking and evaluating their life based on results. And this happens even in family settings, in business settings, for sure, friendships, whatever it is, we're kind of looking at the results to decide how to evaluate something. And that's a tricky one. That's something that I want us to kind of contemplate, because if we go back to our trees, right, it's the unseen that nourishes the seen, the fruits, the results. The Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind, this kind of pulls me back to that book, which is one of the ones that we recommend you start reading at the beginning of the course. He says, he uses this beautiful phrase, the roots create the fruits. So it's really often that we really get hung up on the fruit, right? I have fruit trees. I definitely want to go picking, and I love, I have Asian pears and peaches and plums and apples. And it's so awesome when you can just walk out of your house and pick a fruit from the tree. But right now, none of my trees are bearing fruit. I say that and I take it back. I have figs on my tree, but most of them are really in this process of coming inward, of really rooting down, getting ready for if there's a storm coming the way, or if there's this winter, or really. And oftentimes this weather will fortify the roots, because there's so much more rain and there's so much more the soil gets really deep and dense, and there's so much happening versus here in Texas, the summer is very dry, so not so much rain. Everything needs to already be very established. And this is true for our business too, right? So now we're in the fourth quarter, and some of us have everything set up, and we're just kind of gathering the fruits, coming out, picking. But some of us maybe just signed up, and some of us maybe have not set this sound foundation. And oftentimes, we can say, oh, well, now I have to do this and I have to do that. But the beautiful thing is that it's exactly the right moment for each and every one of you where you are on your journey, on your path, because you've arrived and you're all here. And now it's about taking action. It's about taking the action to create these firm, stable, nourished roots, so that when it comes time to pick, and so it might be different for each and every one of us here on this call, we will have the ripest fruit, and it will be sweet, and they will be just beautiful to touch, and exactly, the right amount of sunshine, the right amount of nutrients in the soil, right? This is where we set it up. And these talks, I feel like these talks are about this so much, right? We're creating this solid foundation. We're working on the invisible. So we're not here to talk about how to upload the mugs and how to create designs, even though I say that and I catch myself, because the community here is so awesome that they offer support after these calls. So I'll address that probably at the end of my talk again, just so that there is support here from the kindness of the heart of the community, to really dive deeper into this low-hanging system and receive the help. And that's another good point. Even as I say that, it makes me understand, because a big part of trees, and maybe not many of you know this, but trees in the root system, they share nutrients. It's not a fighting battle game, especially in forests and really established ecosystems. The trees will send nutrients to each other. They sometimes have these fungi that connect them, the roots underground, and they have their own community. They have their own system to share information. And what are we doing here if not sharing information, sharing energy, sharing the love? You know, Rachel with her just, you know, expertise and full understanding of this e-commerce business, sat diligently recording video after video, content after content, and sharing it with anyone that wants to be here. And here as well on these calls, the students that share the information that was gathered, that are willing to push it forward. And it's interesting because oftentimes, you know, we think about that fruit, right? We picked that fruit, we got it, it's ripe. Inside of that fruit is our seeds. And those seeds, you know, believe it or not, are really a forest inside out. So from one seed, I can have an orchard. From one seed, I can have so many fruits, so many results, so many, you know, just create this vast new landscape of community of, you know, if we now take the fruits into sales results, into money, you could translate that into money from just the one seed. And these seeds are planted now. You know, now we start cultivating this healthy attitude towards our business. Now we learn how to navigate the low-hanging system with more efficiency. And you know, in life in general, we really get caught up in what we see. But when you take a moment, and here, I you know, wherever you're at, in your house, in your car, in your space, wherever you are, even if you just look around, there's so much more. We can call it air, empty space, ether, whatever you want to call it, but there's so much more of that versus the material objects. But our focus, our attention goes on, you know, the computer screen that's in front of you, the house and what it looks like, the design. But the energy and the space, the ether, the environment around you is you know, so much bigger and vast. And so spending time on that is in turn so important, because it will create those fruits that you desire. It will create that orchard, forest, whatever you're building. And look at us, we're a testimony for that. We've created this beautiful, I mean, Rachel, but all of us here participating have created this amazing community that is so powerful and is willing to uplift each other, to create change, to nourish our roots. And so that's kind of where I want us to go with this communication. And just, you can share with me your experience and what you're observing now as we move into this holiday season, as we move, maybe some of you are in summer and not in winter, but you can relate to this idea of fortifying the roots and really making these conscious choices of how are you seeding your garden? What thoughts are in your mind? What kind of fruits are you going to bear? All right, we're in the fourth quarter, and you know, we're already in December, so it's kind of, we can say that we're in this last kind of run of it. But there is going to be another fourth quarter, believe it or not. It's coming our way. And as Scott loves to remind me, Valentine's is right around the corner, right? And so there are always more opportunities to pick the fruit, to generate the income that we want. Now, how are we actively nourishing our roots? We are connected to nature, and we're not separate of it. It's really easy to think that we are, but we are not. We are part of it. We're not above it, for sure. And so that idea that we can align with what nature is going through, and make sure that our inner world, our roots, are all of the ideas are what is nourishing us from the inside, aligns with our purpose, aligns with where we're headed. so that when a storm does come, and we know we're promised the change is going to come, we're promised that weather is going to be, stormy, and there's rain coming your way, and there are winter storms coming your way. So we know that things are going to get shaky. How are we creating a firm foundation to be this strong tree that can withstand anything? Or even when we go to build a house, right? We don't start from the roof. Oh, let's just see, let's see what this roof is going to look like. No, we start from the foundation, we start from the base, and we build up from there. And that's so important for us here as well. Oftentimes, even on our welcome calls to the newer students, we say, go slow, watch the videos, take some actions, right? Watch videos, take actions, watch videos. It's not about, running this marathon, getting to the end, because, all in all, we can go through the content pretty quickly, but how solid is your foundation? How strong is your understanding of this low-hanging system that you are able to just breeze through the tasks that are needed, uploading 100 mugs or 5 mugs, depending on where you're at in the process. And, do you have the confidence already, building that confidence inside you, that your fruits are going to be the ripest, the sweetest, the ones that attract the most attention? It does require ourselves to do this inner work, to look down below, to dig deep. Yeah, dig is a good word for trees, right? With all these analogies. When we can really observe what are the underlining, foundational aspects of our life, of our existence, and are they the ones that will propel us forward? And if not, I'll tell you, it is exactly the right time to change it, just like it's exactly the right time that you're here in the low-hanging system. We can change at any age, in any stage, at any moment, at any, and it's always the right time. It's always today. It could have been maybe, yesterday, but today is definitely the right time to get started, especially, with our low-hanging system, getting everything uploaded and ready for these wonderful days, because it's just, this is a time where everyone is shopping, right? Everyone is looking and searching and buying. What is a great gift that I can give? What is a little bit more unique? And more that we can present and be there at the front, the more results we're going to be. And again, saying that, we know that we're here for the results, but can we give ourselves that space to know, to inner know, like really know that we have this strong foundation, that we can withstand anything, and that we are creating those beautiful fruits moving forward. So I'd love to hear from y'all now. I know I have many of our students here that love to share, and I want to hear from you on that idea. Whatever struck a chord with you. Again, there are no right or wrong answers, and you can take this to wherever it resonates most with you. And I want to say that everyone wants to hear your opinion. We want to hear where you are and where you are in this journey of nourishing your roots. I know that there are students here specifically that offer a lot of help, like Scott, who just raised his hand, and Amber. And when you're able to nourish someone else's roots, that is just an amazing journey. And it fulfills you, and you can grow your branches even taller, right? It's almost like this, you're stretching and branching and reaching. So love to hear from you. Scott, share with us.
Hi,
please.
how you doing today, Karen? Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. My takeaway on some of the things you said were some of the things I've been doing. When I first started this business out, it's been a journey. It's been a good one so far. Keep it up. Keep the good work up, everybody. It's there. Do it. How I've been planting those seeds. And in this business, which is really, really incredible, when you plant that seed, and it grows, it doesn't go away. You don't harvest all of it. It keeps on producing. It doesn't stop. Now, when you're a farmer, you got to go through all of this work every year to do this. Well, he would love it if he could just plant one seed, and that's all he would ever have to plant himself. So are we in an opportunity of opportunities? Yes. Plant those seeds, and I encourage everybody to water them. That's it.
I love it, Scott. It's like infinite possibilities. I kind of kept it in the realm of, okay, the forest, and you're like, look at this. You plant one and it's ongoing and it just keeps on, you keep on harvesting and harvesting. There's no stop, no end to that. It's like this endless spiraling energy. And I love that. And, it's true. Oftentimes we put ourselves in positions where it's very finite. Okay, we extended 1 hour of our work and whatever, and it's done. But here we have this perpetuating energy, like it's just continuous, and it will keep on going the more we keep at it. And that is golden. And thank you for bringing us that perspective, because I think it's very, very sharp and to the point. So thank you so much. Always love to hear from you, Scott. Thank you for sharing. Great to have you here. Scott is one of the students that offers from the kindness of his heart help for everyone that needs it. And it's just like, yeah, you've got this endless fountain of water. You're just like watering the whole community and sharing it forward. Amber too, I know, and others here. And that's beautiful. It's something to be celebrated, something to be acknowledged, not taken lightly. So I acknowledge you for that. And I will, at the end of this call, I will, inform to everyone how to get that assistance, assuming that the help is happening after this call. All right, Eddie, let's hear from you, Eddie. Oh.
Hello, everybody.
There you go.
All right. I always say this, but you always find these scintillating subject matters, roots. Gosh, Lord, how broad is that? Everything is roots. Seriously. I mean, I think it was Emerson that said, from one small acorn, a mighty oak will grow. And I'm thinking about that because I'm here in South Carolina. I know you out there in Texas, Karen. Y'all got open territory where there are no trees.
Uh-huh.
God, Lord, I was out there in Missouri and Kansas. I know why they did the Wizard of Oz out there. You can turn around 360 degrees and don't see a tree. I say, my God, I started imagining wagons, in the old days when everybody's going out west. I said, no, goodness. Here in South Carolina, we have trees. And where my family roots go out to the Sea Islands, there are big oak trees, look like mighty arms, like a giant King Kong hanging around there. They all hanging together. These big, powerful arms on these fantastic fat oak trees that look like they've been there 200 years. And they all gather together and you driving under them like you're in a cave. And it actually is dark in the daytime because it's that many trees with big old limbs blocking off the sunlight. And we driving down through this little corridor going to one of my relatives' house. I said, who lives out here? But it's, roots is everything. See, we learn cultivation through science as we grew, but primordial man beginnings, seeds just fell on the ground. And they just grabbed roots, those that got hold to the dirt and got kicked around, they started growing. And you had a forest. That's nature letting us know how to live. Saying, if you learn to do this, you can do the same thing. You don't have to get it precariously. You can go out, and that's where cultivation came from. We started making farms. But everything we eat that we grow once was in the bushes, growing somewhere. Cabbage, all of it. It was just weeds. All of them had roots. And root plants help you deal with your foundation, that lower chakra. I know that's scientific, spiritual talk. But I learned these things. And see, when I get on these talks, I always trying to resist. I'm going to run my mouth. I know it. But I'm thinking about my 65 years of roots. I mean, I'm an oak tree now. That sounds too much like, oh, yeah. But it took a long time for me to get this wisdom that I'm sharing. There was a time, and I'm wondering if I want to say this, but I am. There was a time I would not get on a call like this. I would not look at the screen and talking to people that I didn't know. No, who are they? I can't pronounce some other name. I don't know where they are. They talking about where they from. I had anxiety. And I mean recently. And I had a business coach, and they always had this thing, you call a hot seat. You put your name in there, and you're supposed to get up and get coached about your business. Well, I resisted that, but I got up there one day and he asked me, how come my clients have been only females? And that was almost like an ambush. I didn't expect that question. I say, well, that's the only people that sign up. He said, no, people not going to want to hear that. They want to know why you only help women. I said, well, men don't sign up for my program. He said, no, Eddie. Why do you only have female clients? I say, okay, I'm resonating that. And I won't say it again, but my mother had a tragic ending. But it shaped me. It turned me into this person that cares about humankind. I really wish she had a different ending, but it didn't happen that way. And I had to spend some time learning how to get over that. And I grew like this mighty oak tree, and it made me strong enough to get on here. And if you're looking at me, you see, I've cultivated speaking. You're listening to 65 years of learning how to speak well. I promise you, I write better. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm starting to appreciate the journey, because everything is a journey. And this, I keep talking about Rachel Raffay because I'm at Walmart, and I tell you, she was on that cash register dreaming of ideas of how to get out of that business. And the spirit came and talked to her and said, guess what? And she went home and started piecemeally doing it, planting seeds and growing this business, because the low hanging is talking about get the fruits that are hanging low. Don't try to go all up in the tree. Don't try to go up in the top of the tree. Go right. I used to pick peaches. You get the best peaches right here, right there. How serious? Put them in your bag. Doom, 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 doom. Get the ones that are easy accessible. And then the other ones that's up there, well, you work on those later. But right now, get the ones that are right here. For me, that was speaking. I wanted to learn how to speak because I want to know how in the world do you get people to listen to what you have to say. And a life coach told me this, Eddie, you just keep speaking. The people that want to hear what you got to say will show up. Mm-hmm. You put your business out there. I hear Scott say, I don't know how many mugs he got. Well, when he let somebody really see what he got, they go start, the people that really say, ooh, I like that, they will start buying his mugs. He's just planting seeds. All of them doing this. And right here are people who got minds that understand the system so well. If you ask them a question, you'll get an essay on how to do it. They just that. So I'm just saying, I have learned that these calls are that special. I'm on my day off and I look forward to coming to these calls. And, and Karen just does this. She's always, not really, that's part of the ambiance. You love this. This is a beautiful community. If you knew, then you knew why you're here. Wow, that's wild, ain't it? You're here to get some of this. You are that oak tree growing, and you're going to have these big, powerful arms out here holding up all your mugs and all your T-shirts and whatever else you're making, because this is merchandising. And so people love to spend money because this is the most wonderful time of the year, as they say. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. I appreciate it, and y'all be blessed.
Beautiful, Eddie, beautiful. You always take us on this beautiful journey. And then I was traveling in between all the forests that I've ever visited in my life. And it's majestic just to get that energy and to really feel what the trees and the forest can give you. And you give so much to this community, Eddie, just even, not just, you're present. And by speaking, you speak every time. And I acknowledge you for that, because that's big. Sharing your thoughts and being vulnerable and open about your whole past, we gain so much from that. And you provide this anchor and support, just like the roots. And that's what we do here. And that's what we're cultivating. We're cultivating this support system that we're all a part of. And that is profound. It's something that can really propel us forward. We have people from all over the world. I just noticed that prima donna is here with us. She's from Uganda, joining us. And how amazing is that? You know, we don't know. People are listening on YouTube. They're from different areas in the world, and they hear your voice, Eddie. They hear everyone here, and it's just, we can really transport energy. You mentioned my smile and that energy. We can transport energy. It knows no bounds. There is no, boundaries for that. We can just send it out to each other. And as roots, we absorb that. And then we're able to really, like you mentioned, peaches, get these beautiful, ripe fruits that we'll all be proud of and just be willing to share with the world. So thank you, Eddie. Always great to hear you. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. Thank you, Karen. I'm just wondering, now, one thing you mentioned, you said that without roots, we won't survive. I think that analogy is extremely powerful in the sense that for people, for example, the roots that I think of are, there are many, but the two primary ones would be self-esteem and the belief that you can achieve the outcome. Because if you don't have at least self-esteem, then the slightest breeze from life will knock you over. You can't take compliments. You can't endure any uncertainty or any doubt, because everything will basically push you over because you got no self-esteem to withstand anything. I take the example of the Dementors from Harry Potter as a person who has a hole in their heart that no one can ever fill. And that's what happens with people with low self-esteem. They have a hole in their heart that cannot be filled. And they will suck in everything and everyone around them in order to fill that void, often to the destruction of themselves and everyone around them. But if they get that self-esteem in place, because they have no reason not to have it, but once they have that self-esteem in place, the roots become strong. And then when someone says something, or they make a mistake, or they stuff up as they will, then it doesn't knock them over, because the self-esteem is the backbone of the root system. I mean, obviously, you also need the self-confidence to endure mistakes. But if you don't have that self-esteem, then nothing's going to save you. And the thing is, there's no reason not to have that self-esteem, because you're born infinitely precious and valuable, and nothing you ever do is ever going to change that. So once you start from that basis, then you can just fly. That's my perspective anyway.
I love it. I can take it. I can distill it just a little bit more and take that self-esteem to love. It's basically love, right? Even if you think about the whole Harry Potter scheme and how they overcome the darkness, it's the love, it's the light overcoming the darkness. And yeah, definitely self-esteem is one that we build up. But what are we doing here? We're sharing the love. We're sharing the love to help each other build self-esteem, to help each other navigate the low-hanging system. And everything you say is exactly true. We have to have this foundation inside of us. And really, truthfully, there is a fountain, there is this abundance, never-ending abundance of love, of, even financial abundance in the universe. This never-ending, never depletes, that we can draw in and feel. But we have to be, like you said, open to that, open to receive. It's like, once you get into that void or that hole, it can draw you down. It can drag you down. And then, like you said, the just a little breeze or a little push. These are metaphors, right? But we feel it every day in our business. And Amazon didn't approve this, or this didn't go exactly. That's a push. That's a breeze, coming our way. And then, okay, do we have that strong foundation to persevere, to move forward? And wow, roots have so many different ways of growing, right? You can grow straight down like a carrot. You can grow and branch like branches. There are different types of roots, and we don't all have to look the same. You get those bigger roots like potatoes. I mean, think about those. They grow and we eat them and we enjoy that. So it really is interesting, because these strong foundational roots make us also sensitive and give us that resiliency in life. Some of these roots are like a sponge. They just absorb and absorb and absorb. And then, you come out of that. So I love when you share, because I go on this like boom, spiritual journey, going to all these beautiful places. I love when you share, Scott. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I always have wonderful things to share with the whole group. I don't see any other hands up. I see Roxana's here. I wanted to acknowledge you, Roxana. Great to see you here. Anyone else want to share with our group, or we will wrap it up and I will tell you about the help coming right after this. All right. So right now, what's going to happen, I'm going to close this call. So the call is going to shut off completely. Your computer screen will go blank and it will, you will not see anything. It's like, oh, we're done. But then if you go back into the link that you came into to join this call in the first place, you will find that many of our students are here and offering you that support, that nourishment to your roots, to get that strong foundation so that when, those little breezes or pushes come your way, you're strong. What does a tree do? It just kind of bends over a little bit. Sometimes we'll see, have you ever seen those trees that grow slanted? They're not straight up. They just, because they're always, oftentimes in riverbeds, you'll see them. Anyways, just thinking about that as well. It's pretty interesting. We don't have to break. We can bend just a little bit and go with the flow of life. So it was beautiful here to talk to everyone and hear your wonderful opinions. I look forward to seeing you here on Thursday. So we have the wonderful John Lavinia tomorrow, and I will be here with you on Thursday. Like I said, I'm going to shut down the call and you can hop back on. I'm making it super clear because I spoke to a couple of students who said they did not understand the logistics of this. So I'm making it crystal clear so everyone knows. All right. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you here on Thursday.